Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Today's story is called A Crack in the Water Bucket. And in this story, water buckets can talk, so get ready. You see, before there was indoor plumbing, I mean many years ago, there was different ways of bringing water in and out of the towns. And there was one way in particular called a water carrier. That was a really strong person who would put a pole across their shoulders and carry a bucket on their left and a bucket on their right. And they would go from the spring or the lake to the town and back and forth all day long. And I know that doesn't sound very exciting, but it was a very important job. And not only did the water carrier feel the importance of that job, even the buckets were extremely proud and knew how important their job was. But there was a problem. One of the buckets was cracked. And that bucket felt so bad. And she dwelled on it all day, every day. As the carrier would walk the water back and forth, the bucket would just watch water leaking out and would feel so guilty. And one day, the bucket just couldn't take it anymore. She proclaimed, I'm sorry that I leak the way I do. All I want to do is my job. But I'm leaking and I simply feel so awful. I must make your life so much more difficult. How can I make things better for you? Now, the other bucket snickered. It was like, you can't make anything better because you're a leaky bucket. You make our job harder. But the carrier just listened and was calm. And finally he said, let's talk about this tomorrow morning when we're carrying the water into the town. So the next morning, they go down to the water, and the water carrier dips the pole in to the left and dips the pole to the right. And they start to walk back to town. And the carrier turns to his right with the unleaky bucket. Some would even call him a smug bucket. And says, what do you see? Bucket looks confused. He says, what do you mean, what do I see? I see a dirt path. I see the same dirt path that we walk down every single day. I've seen it every day for so long. That's all that's here. It's a path. The carrier said, okay. Turns to his left and asks the leaky bucket, what do you see? The leaky bucket got so excited. She said, there's beauty everywhere. Look at this. There's plants and there's berries all along the side of the road. They're lush and beautiful. It's so wonderful to take this walk every day. And immediately, the leaky bucket knew what was going on. And the carrier smiled and said, I have always known that you leak. And I know that that might make my life harder at times. But what I realized really early on was where you saw a crack, I saw a potential for blessing. So I've been planting seeds along the road on your side all the time. And as we walk to and from the town, you've watered those seeds, growing these beautiful plants and flowers and berries. I have grown to love this walk so much because of the beautiful earth that's around us that you've helped to grow. And people in the town as well are so proud of the beauty along the road from their spring all the way to the town. He concluded by saying, you may be a little broken, but that brokenness is exactly what makes you a blessing to everyone around you. I think that's a really important lesson that all of us can learn from. We all might feel a little broken at times. We all might feel a little less than at times. But we should stop and think about what it is that we do that makes us special. And that's something that we might see as a deficit, something that might make it harder for us to do certain things, might be the very things that allow blessings into this world. Shabbat Shalom.